Hi there, and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to go into part 2, volume 1 of my scrapbook collection. And I started my first video with some hopefully interesting information, a little bit on the Nix family background without getting too complicated and stumbling on my own words, trying to get the family straight. But I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to continue with stuff that's not too much rare seeing. There's a couple gems in here. I was going through my book, and it seems there's some cool stuff that I have. Some stuff I got from like Herbert Worthington's estate, but a lot of the early stuff I have is just stuff that it came in magazines, like I got when I was younger and such. Again, when I was going over magazines and being surprised at how little I had from the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s. It's stuff like this, for example, that I bought as a clipping, not the whole magazine. And this was from a magazine called Rock Around the World from October 1976. And this was the photo. You can see, like I said, it's 11 by 14 in full. So not an unseen photo really or anything like that, but the article that had come with it was pretty cool. Just really right when Stevie and Lindsay had started. I mean, October 76, so that's pretty early still. So that was in the article. So I don't have a magazine for that because, like I said, I got it in a clipping slot. This I did acquire from Herbert Worthington's estate, and this is kind of a jewel, one of my favorite photos, actually. It's got a real soft focus tint to it, and unfortunately, I've never been able to identify the girl in the picture, though I've seen her in other pictures. But I really wish I could get that down, and that's for this photo here. Again, a nice 11 by 14 size print. So cute how Christine is. I'd love to see more from this session. I was trying to think of what they're wearing and stuff like that, and the chair and what Christine's wearing to see if maybe I have other stuff from that, but I haven't really been able to make it out if other things that I have are from that session. So this was an early page. This was an indication of what I was telling you in the last video about having the long boxes and thinking how cute it would be to make them as kind of chapter breakers. When you cut the box open, fillet it, for lack of a better term. Actually, you have to take even the middle tab out that says Fleetwood Mac on the side. So this was cut open, and then both its side pieces were cut out. This was probably from the top or maybe a side piece, because this is a piece of the cardboard. I had these stickers since the 80s, which was just so perfect. And then this is just a Xeroxed article I had on Fleetwood Mac at the time, real old, but this is another piece of the cardboard box. See, it's just kind of thicker. Some more of the stickers. I mean, this is probably a page that I wouldn't redo just because of its, kind of just brings back memories for me of doing the work early, thinking I'd be able to cram everything into one book. It was so funny, so silly. Again, another article I got from, I think the magazine was called, it's funny, I don't have it for a couple pages, I think. I don't remember what the magazine was called. Pardon me. It is actually in here. Not sure why it's spaced so differently. I think just because it went with the photos, but maybe I'm wrong. Huh. I swear I had maybe that's to come yet. Hold on, let me just double check here. That's really weird. I swear I had just seen it, but anyway. I can just picture the top portion of the magazine. It was like a newspaper type magazine. Again, large print. And I'm so glad I did start with this photo album this size, because again, having those large print things, everything fit in here. And I was buying clippings. I mean, I didn't really think to buy old magazines in full with the content, probably because of the time I would have torn the stuff out anyway. I just wanted scrapbook better, where I didn't have to go looking through all the pages, like even just right now to show you something, which again is why I wanted it in a book form, because it doesn't get mixed up, it doesn't get lost. But that was a page, this was a page. And again, this wouldn't fit in a scrapbook. This is the article portion that's on the back of this, but I made it smaller and put a back piece on it to go with the picture to not really interfere much with the photo. These photos are all by Finn Costello. Stevie's earlier, not one of my favorite sessions. A lot of people like it. I mean, it's adorable because she's so cute. It's so 70s. It's so 70s, the car and the hot babe and the, rock and roll and cars and stuff like that. But it's also just kind of cheesy. Kind of, it has its charm, but you have to be really in that 70s frame of mind kind of thing. This was a much later article. This came out, I want to say, I had it here somewhere. It's when her soundstage came out live in Chicago, which I want to say is like 2013. But because it had this photo with it, I put the article here. And a friend of mine had sent me this article, and I can't even remember what magazine it came from. Usually I write that stuff down. But anyway, I was really lucky to get the icon. And maybe that's just the I'm not sure. There's not too many times where I'll put a later article with a photo session that was earlier, unless it all fits in, unless there's like no other way I have that photo. And this one does stand out from the other one, so that's why I wanted to put that with this stuff here. So, and then there's some more from the session. It's cool. This is a legit sticker from the time. I have a small handful of these that I got in a box of stuff one time. Legitimate stickers from the time from Warner Brothers, which was kind of cool. And then moving on, this was an article from the Los Angeles Times calendar from August 22nd, 1976. An article on Stevie and Lindsay joining the band and the new chemistry Fleetwood Mac. This is when I'm a little forgetful. I think that these photos are by, it's funny because, again, I write this stuff down and I'm really good about it. And I guess possibly the only reason I didn't write it down is because maybe they are by Herbert Worthington. But they could be by Sam Emerson or Neil Preston. But I think they're by Herbert Worthington. Because like I said, I didn't write down who they are by. But these are some really great shots. Some of them are pretty common. This one I think is from a magazine. Pretty sure this one is from a magazine, got released in a magazine, but some of these outtakes. Again, these were really cool. These were a lot of items that I got from a person named Brian Kane. Really awesome person who had just a real crazy good archive of photos. I love how Chris looks in these photos as well. Stevie's adorbs. I mean, she's so new and fresh with the band, but Christine just looks great. Really nice photos of Christine. Then here's a couple more of Stevie. And this is another jewel of mine. This was a photo acquired from Herbert Worthington's estate, an original. In fact, I got this, I want to say, the same time as one with her and Stevie and the other lady. This was one that was in Herbert Worthington's collection, his stuff. I absolutely love it. Then there's some more of Christine here. Not the same shoot. I think it's the same shoot as possibly as these, but maybe not. Just maybe a different outfit. Because it seems like the whole band is in. There's some pictures with the whole band with the pillows and stuff behind them. So maybe I'm mistaken. But really nice pictures of Chris. These couple photos are by Sharon Wise. This one for sure. This one I'm 90% sure. This one does have photo credit by Sharon on the back. A nice early photo of Stevie and the Fleetwood Mac on stage. Kind of a common photo, but still really cool. Just some super early days with that background was so cool. And this photo of Stevie. Then there's some more of these here. This one's nicer, I think, than this one here. Her hair was really long when you think about it. It didn't seem like it. Like mine seems long, but I was looking at mine the other day and it was like pretty far down, and I didn't think I had let it grow that long, but it's become, I'm kind of thinking of cutting it off. But this I acquired somewhat recently. The artist's name or the photographer's name, it looks like it's Ed. That could be an F at the bottom. It's hard to say. This was one acquired not too long ago on eBay. It's very unfortunate, this little error on it. But still a really cool shot. Looks pretty early. And then some early shots of Stevie here. This one was by that, I just had her name too a minute ago. Nancy. Of course I didn't write it. Nancy Brandon. She's the one, anyway, she was a cool lady. You used to be able to write to her and get, like send a self-addressed stamped envelope. She was always in the back of Rolling Stone and other magazines with photos of bands, of course, Fleetwood Mac as well. And I remember getting this years ago and thinking that hardly looks like Stevie. I mean, it just really is it's a different look for her. Like her face just looks super different, in my opinion. It's a great photo, but she just looks so different. And then just standard Stevie here, so cute in the jeans. And then this picture, I think, I'm trying to see if that came undone or if I meant for it to be. Oh, it came undone. Sorry about that, because it kind of goes with, but you can see it's so tiny, but it's so cool because that's the only way you'd see it probably. And this photo here is by Ralph Hewlett. I can't confirm about this one or this one, but Nancy Brandon, I think is her name. That's how you say it. But this one's pretty cool too. And these are all originals here. Christine in shorts. These were pages I had done early. I acquired the negatives to some photos and had them developed, and I don't like the layout. I don't like the color scheme that I chose when I talk about my, I never pretend or think that I'm especially fancy in my scrapbooking. It is funny to me because you'll see some that are super early and they just look chonky as hell. And then you'll see some where I think I was pretty creative with like all this design. Like this is a bunch of different papers torn up. You can see some is kind of shiny maybe here. And then the tape that I put around it, there's just a lot more work. I'm not saying like, oh my God, I'm so creative, but I kind of like created the paper that was behind there for the borders. And it's just funny to me, like I said, you can kind of tell, an age progression in terms of my scrapbooking, from early days up until now. And this was just kind of an early day one that I really just need to tear apart. The color scheme, yellow and blue, is not a bad colors to go with the photo, just with the blue sky and then the pop of color in the back, but I just don't like how it looks whatsoever. And so normally, again, procrastination would be not showing you this page and redoing it and then just putting off this whole section of the scrapbook to show you. And I'm just like, no, just screw it. Just, someday when I redo it, I'll make another video, or I'll show you the updated version of it. Really cute. Look at that Stevie. Some other really early shots. These were bought on eBay with no photographer credit, which was really kind of a bummer. Again, you can see she's kind of got one of those little shirts, and she's got the little belly chain like she's got going on here as well. A little waist or belly chain. See that there? You can kind of make it out in the pictures here. Right here. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. Kind of short. To go into the next batch of pictures, I just think would make the video a little bit too longer. So I'm going to keep them kind of short, but I'm going to keep them coming. And we're about not quite halfway through the first album. So I hope you enjoyed this one. And those, that one of Stevie and Chris and the other girl together was kind of cool. And the solo one of Christine was kind of cool. So once again, I hope you've seen some stuff that you hadn't seen before. And thanks for coming to see what I'm sharing. I hope you have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.